Alright mate, Slimy here, and welcome back to some more Smash Bros. Oh, wait a minute, this isn't Smash. And there we go, Smash Bros. So, welcome back to more Smash Bros. World of Light. Now, this is a bit of a redub in a way, because whenever I tried to record the joke the first time, it kind of corrupted. So, anyway, Smash Bros. World of Light. So as you saw there, as I'm trying to fumble my way around here with Bowser, is that I've actually got the Capcom Fighting Collection. I've actually been having quite a lot of fun with it. I was actually surprised whenever I gave Darkstalkers a shot that how fluid it actually felt moving. Now, previously I played like Street Fighter 2 in that, which was like the Capcom fighting game that I had the most experience with in that. And I was just kind of, well, like I said, surprised. Like how Street Fighter 2's movement is like quite sluggish and quite rigid. Darkstalkers is like, well, it's really, well, like I said, fluid. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. I've actually been playing with all the games in the Capcom Fighting Collection, and to be honest, I think like Darkstalkers is really the one that stood out the most. And what's it called? And the funniest part about like the whole thing is it's kind of made me want to see like a Darkstalker in Smash Bros. Now. Ironically enough. Now, my personal pick would actually be Shenko, because she's just got a wacky design. I feel like that would work quite well in Smash. Especially because she can just like open up her sleeves and just like throw an anvil at people, just like bonk them on the head and that. Quite fun to see. Well, then again, we've already got like Steve's zombie doing that. I may as well just elaborate that right now while I'm doing like this redubbing thing and that in my bedroom right now it is like 37 degrees because I'm currently in the middle of a heat wave. Britain's not supposed to be this warm, by the way. Normally Britain in summer is like 24, 25 Celsius, like at max, but now we're at like, earlier on it was like 39, which is ridiculous. And, well, the reason why I bring this up is because I've got my fan on in the background. It's basically a miniature wind turbine, and it is fairly loud, to be honest. I don't know if, like I said, the noise cancellation will actually cancel it out on that, but, well, hopefully it will, because it is, well, very loud. So anyway, while I'm quite literally melting to death in my bedroom, I've decided that I'd be editing a video. So you can't see it right now, but I'm giving you guys a thumbs up to know that, like, I'm literally, I don't know, risking dehydration just to give you this video or whatever. I say that, but I've got like this big litre bottle of water here. That was probably a bit too loud of sound, but yeah, I've got this water bottle here because honestly I need it in this kind of weather. I can feel the sweat on my back from how warm it is out there. And plus, in Britain, we don't get like dry heat. We always get humid heat, and humid heat is just like nasty because you never actually, you don't cool down. It is basically the equivalent of like, have you ever been like in a really warm, well, ever walked into like a really warm shower, like after someone's used it and that, and the air itself feels damp? That's what humid weather's like, and it's just horrible to deal with. So, yeah, average British weather report or whatever. I need like, I don't know, I could do with one of them like stock bong sound effects or whatever it is, like what they have on the news. But then again, the news is always like super depressive. The news is always like, just even on the bong sound, you'll be like, someone has died, and then you'll hear another bong sound. More economic depression or whatever, and then you'll hear another bong sound. And then you're just like, oh, there was a flood in Africa or something. And they never tell you anything good in the news, and it's just kind of depressing to be hearing, to be honest. Speaking of depressing, this fight was not fun to do. It was just kind of awkward. And I was not particularly happy with it. Anyway, what to talk about other than... actually, considering I've got like Bowser up right now, I did a video on cheesing Giga Bowser, because I discovered a strat. Like I said ages ago, I beat World of Light with no spirits on hardest difficulty, and it literally took me like well over 2 or 3 months to do it. And whenever it came to doing Giga Bowser, I discovered a strategy with Fox, and nobody else had really like done a video on it. So I thought I may as well do it because I thought it was like kind of funny. Put some funny music behind it and like did some thingy, like little bits of info on how to do it and that, because it is a really easy strategy to do, but it's also one of the things that if you want to do 0 damage like what I was doing, it can be a little tricky because obviously Giga Bowser takes up like 90% of the stage when he's on it. So yeah, that's the thing. But the thing is it took me about 40 minutes to get the 0 damage run with like no spirits, no skill tree, hardest difficulty, stuff like that. And it paid off, to be honest. It really did pay off because, well, the final hit, Giga Bowser like jumped up, went to do the Bowser Bomb, and I was doing like Fox's side B, and it didn't. You know that one image that floated around of Ralph Wiggum jumping through King Piccolo or whatever it was in Dragon Ball? It was pretty much that. And it was far funnier than I had anticipated. Anyway, new character, Lucina. Every single time I think of Lucina, I think of this one like Smash 4 comic or whatever it was. Well, it wasn't a comic, it was a video where it was the Chrome costume got revealed, and Lucina was doing the whole what is it now? Father, I'm so glad you can join us. And then Chrome was like, oh hello, it is I, the Chrome from the Fire Emblem. Give your father a hug, Lasuna. I just thought that was really funny, that the really goofy voice they gave him. But like, just any time I think of Lucina, I just think of that one like really silly voice clip. Granted, I'm not really that good at doing voices, but I try. I really shouldn't though, because they're awful. The ones I do are always like the most atrocious ones that end up happening. So we're going to be switching over to Lucina, and then the first thing we're going to be doing when we switch over to Lucina is immediately break one of her toes. It's already bad enough that we just beat her up to free a corpse or whatever from Darkon's control. Now we're damaging her toes. So she gains consciousness, and the first thing that we do is like start harming her again. Pretty mean when you think about it. So while we continue running around in this big gear, yeah, Capcom Fighting Collection, I've been playing that, like I said earlier, and I'm still yet to play Cyber. I am still yet to play Cyberbots yet, but I've had to go basically everything else, and Street Fighter 2 just feels like weirdly jarring, but then again I think it's because like it's the arcade version, which is known for its like cheatiness and that, because CPUs will do like walking forward flash kicks and sonic booms, which for anybody who has like even an ounce of knowledge of Street Fighter will know is not actually physically possible, and it's just blatant cheating. Because you need to, for flash kick you need to hold down for 1 second, and for sonic boom you need to hold back for 1 second. It might even be 2 seconds actually. But the thing is when you're holding down for 2 seconds or back for 2 seconds or even down back for 2 seconds, which is optimal, you kind of can't walk forward. But then the CPU just walking forward going sonic boom, sonic boom, sonic boom, flash kick, sonic boom, just like rapid fire. And if a player was to try and do that, you find out that just Guile's going to be like throwing regular punches and kicks while walking forward. So a little bit disappointing if you actually think, oh, I can pull all this stuff off and that, because you can't, but it's just CPU's cheated. It's kind of a problem that a lot of old fighting games had, is that they were just kind of blatantly cheating. It's one thing that I'm actually glad Smash really doesn't do. The only time that you really see like cheating is whenever the CPU starts reading your inputs, but the CPU doesn't get like bonus frames or free invincibility on random stuff or just like illogical special moves or anything. Everything that happens in Smash the player can do, it's just that the CPU just has insane reaction times. Actually, speaking of insane stuff, I mentioned like on what episode 6 or 7 of this series or something that I watched the James Webb Space Telescope go into space on Christmas Day. So I really am like got nothing better to do with my life. It was actually quite fun to watch though. But the pictures have came back, and it is actually like really shocking when you compare them side by side with what Hubble had. I just thought I'd like follow up the whole space talk that I was doing like a few episodes back. I don't know, I just find space incredible. Anyway, I just got completely sidetracked there. I was like thinking of what to say about like Dracula's Castle, but Dracula's Castle is like possibly one of my favourite mini areas in this game. I'd say the same thing about the Street Fighter 2 World Warriors map as well. Because I just like how they took elements of the game that, well, these came from and added it into Smash Bros. I mean, granted, the Street Fighter 1 makes slightly more sense because they're basically using the map as, well, a menu screen to get into different fights, so basically the same thing that happened in Street Fighter 2. But with Castlevania, it's more of like an action platformer type thing, well, a Metroidvania to be specific. It did birth the entire genre. But, well, yeah, I think they actually did quite a fun job with what they were doing here. Actually, there's something that I kind of want to mention, because like I was saying, I'm playing a lot of Darkstalkers, is that some of the stuff that you see in Darkstalkers, like especially Darkstalkers 3 or Vampire Savior 2 or Vampire Hunter 2 or however, like, there's like 3 different versions of it for like no specific reason, and they've got like version exclusives of it as if it's Pokemon. It's like the version exclusives are like Wheatsoul and Pyron. Pyron's got like a really cool design, to be honest. It's like one of the few characters that I can look at and say what they did with him is quite cool, because he can like, he's literally just like a shape-shifting flame person, and as a result they kind of went all out with these like wacky animations and that. There's one where you literally just the Pokemon move flame wheel. See, I was going to say about like version exclusives, I was going to say what version did you get? Did you get Vampire Hunter version or Vampire Savior version? But whatever. Pyron also, ironically enough, is like the space guy, which just kind of ties into that thing that we were saying earlier. One of his super moves is just like really cool. It's just like he just like throws constellations at people. Ironically enough, the character that I found the most fun playing was actually Curly Wurly herself, which is kind of ironic because I was kind of like disrespecting her early on in this Let's Play. So you did a good job, Curly Wurly, I guess. I wonder how many people like I've actually watched this far into the Let's Play, let's be honest, nobody, who actually get why I'm calling Curly Wurly. Weirdly specific joke, but I find it funny, to be honest. And I feel like that's just kind of, well, how nicknames start. I call Ganondorf Chariots of Fire sometimes, so solely because he had like the slowest running Smash Bros until like, well, Incineroar came along. It's funny though, because sometimes like nicknames stick and then sometimes they don't, because it's like sometimes I call Sheik Soap Bar Sheik, because in Smash 4 you just like tap slightly forward and Sheik just went and just like slip really far. It's like if she'd worn soap on her feet and then covered it on butter and then went ice skating, which is kind of what she felt like. Very weird visual image there, to be honest. I was just about to ask, do they have ice rings in Hyrule? I mean, they have that like one really weird frozen cave that's in like the back of the Zora domain, but like, I don't think that counts, to be honest. I'm gonna say it doesn't count. But yeah, at one point, even like it now that I like gave a really funny name to, but just like stop calling. Ironically enough, there is like a spinny move that I do have like a funny name for it, even though I call like Morrigan the Curly Whirler. I call Cloud's finishing touch the Whisk. It's like when me and Lucario would play Smash Bros with each other, we'd just be like looking at each other. Like when we get Cloud, we go like, hit him with a Whisk, and we immediately knew what to like do. Half the time we never even like landed it, but I mean we just had to hit him with the Whisk. Just whisk him like eggs. Very funny when we ended up like fighting Yoshi in that. So that was a thing. I just had a little drink then because it is like I said, boiling out in this room. That's the thing, like British houses just don't cool down. Like a few days ago, it was like only like average warm, like 18 degrees or something. And for whatever reason, at night it went up to 25, and it just became like unbearable to sleep, so I just ended up staying up. It's like I actually tried sleeping last night, but because it was like 32 at like midnight, I slept for all like 5 hours. So this video that I'm actually editing here is like on 5 hours of sleep, so you're welcome. I don't know if it's like twice now I've like gave a thumbs up, but like you actually can't see it. I'm gonna need to like draw me guy doing the thumbs up, or something, just like slap him on screen, just like violently launch him at the screen like anytime I like say, oh, I did a thumbs up or whatever. I'm just rambling because I truly can't remember half the stuff that I brought up in this video. Other than the fact that I SD like 3 times here or whatever, because I'm trying to go for like a funny KO, and well, I suck at this game. That's the truth of it. Even though I can like beat World of Light on max difficulty with no spirits, no skills, you know, stuff like that. Even though I've went up against people who went to like local tournaments and like decently good at their own scene and actually beat them, and I'm still bad at this game. Actually, there's one thing I will say is I am like kind of crappy at all fighting games. I wish it was better, to be honest, but I do enjoy them. That's the reason why I think in this series alone, I think I've mentioned playing Street Fighter, playing Tekken, playing Darkstalkers, probably Soul Calibur at some point as well. I think at least once I've mentioned Soul Calibur. Probably should like replay through it again. Like, ooh, hiccups there. Story mode again. It's been a while since I played that. So really get like the DLC in that. Same with Tekken actually. But yeah, because I think the DLC series for both of them have ended. So I should really just like think about like snagging them when I can. So we can't get whoever's behind that wall. So we're just gonna have to like slide on down these ladders. Every single time I think of like sliding down ladders, I think of that one. Is it like Dark Souls or something? The clip of the guy going down the ladder with like the cone hat, and as he's going down the ladder, like his hat is like banging against the ladders, making this really loud sound. Like the Gmod like items clipping through itself sounds something daft like that. But yeah. Actually, that just reminded me of another thing of like this really weirdly specific Charlie Brown climbs up a wall clip, and it's really like, it has like this very strange vibe to it where it's very empty feeling, and it sounds like the sound of Charlie Brown climbing up a fence. Was recorded in the middle of a desert or something, but like it's also really echoey. And it just kind of gives you this idea like Charlie Brown just lives in the middle of nowhere after like a post-apocalyptic event or something. Probably why everyone sounds like trumpets then. So, I can't even remember what character we were beating up here, but we've got Isaac here, so he's a guy that people like, I think. I keep just having like flashbacks, you know, like whenever I see like Isaac and Gino and stuff like that, flashbacks to the whole Grinch League thing. Which, honestly, I would say I'd do a video on it, but at the same time we never actually conclusively found out who was behind it. So we can't really wrap it up. But at the same time, there's also other people who've done like videos on the Grinch League, and well, considering they've already done it, I wouldn't really feel like I'm adding that much. So that's kind of a thing. So we've got Knuckle Joe here. For a while, believe it or not, whenever he does that whole thing, I think he just did it like right then. For the longest time, because obviously you have like the sounds of like Ryu sticking his foot in Lucina's ear and stuff like that, and obviously the music and that. Just when you have stuff like that going on, you can't really tell what they're saying. For the longest time, I thought he was going like, "Fighting Strike!" or something like that, if you can even hear what I said. But he has like a really high-pitched voice, and then with all the sound effects on top of that, you really can't tell what's going on. So that's the thing again. It actually kind of makes sense that Ryu would represent Knuckle Joe, because, well, not only does he have the like the Shoryuken and the Hadouken and that, but I mean Fighter Kirby, which is the ability that you get from eating Knuckle Joe, straight up has a Tatsumaki and everything, so it makes perfect sense. It's actually a really cool reference, to be honest. And honestly, between like how the finger fighting game characters are represented in Smash, and me playing through Darkstalkers and just like really enjoying how all the inputs work in that, because like I said, they feel clean, they feel like really responsive in that. What's it called? It just kind of made me want to see more fighting game characters in Smash Bros. In general. I mean, like I said, put Shenko in Smash, because I just really want to like throw a ridiculous amount of stuff at people, and again the Belmonts already do that. Anyway, when you think about it, she's like somewhere between Minecraft Steve, Min Min, and a Belmont, and then like throw in some like Ryu and Ken inputs for like the extra fighting game community-ness or whatever. So that's the thing. I mean, a lot of people keep saying, oh, they should add Morrigan to Smash, and now I'm not against it, but I can't see it being like put in Smash because of her outfit and that, and to a degree of personality as well. But I mean, at the same time, I also can't argue against the idea of like the Star Wars sound effects that she has on some of the moves for some reason. Don't know how they got away with that, but that's kind of cool, to be honest. I wouldn't mind seeing that in Smash. I mean, we were kind of ripped off with the beam sword not having like actual lightsaber sounds, which is some of that happened. Smash 64 in Japan had actual lightsaber sound on the beam sword, and I think every release since, like starting from the Western Smash 64, they've just never done that. So that's kind of disappointing. And now, I think I was actually just remembered wrong. I was gonna say I think we've got a fun little segue here, but there's still a bit of stuff to do here, such as shooting ghosts with cannonballs. I'm not too sure how that works. I'm also not too sure how the ghosts are composed entirely out of bats. You know, actually, that just makes me want like a ghost bat Pokemon, because I know there is such a thing as like a ghost bat. And I think it's like an Australian bat species with massive ears or something. I'm actually genuinely surprised whenever it comes to like Pokemon and that, how varied they actually get with the bats, because you've got a poison flying, a psychic flying, and a dragon flying. Three types that wouldn't have really been me go-to for like a bat Pokemon. The first thing I would have thought of would have been like dark flying. That would have been the most obvious one. Or maybe a little bit more of a stretch, normal flying, but whatever. I don't know how I managed to bring up Pokemon whenever there's never any Pokemon on screen, But then whenever there is Pokemon on screen, it tends to just like typically go, okay, and just like move on with whatever. So we installed some basement and that, and there's a guy down there and such and stuff and such. But we're going up here because, well, is like the second strongest spirit in the entire game, no joke. They actually, like, before they stopped adding spirits, well, we think they've stopped adding spirits because they've not really added any more since like March or something. But before it was usurped by Evil Ryu, which is just like an outright upgraded version of Akuma, has more damage output and also a built-in ability, and also has a neutral type, so it has no like type weakness or anything. Akuma is like the second strongest spirit in the entire game in terms of like stats for attack and that. I think Malos might be third or something. But anyway, as you'd expect from Akuma, this is like one of the more difficult spirits, and then I just completely dragged him in there. So, great going, Slime! Third thumbs up of the day, I guess. And it's actually worth mentioning. I mentioned Morrigan earlier, but do you know Akuma's trademark Raging Demon, or the what is it, Shungoku Satsu or something like that? Akuma actually didn't get that move until Street Fighter Alpha, and before that, that move actually came from Morrigan. It was Morrigan's Darkness Illusion, which, funnily enough, is actually the name of Meta Knight's Final Smash, and might have even been the very thing to inspire that move. So, some weird trivia for multiple fighting games there, I guess. So anyway, let's address the elephant or equally large creature in the room. We're fighting Ridley. So if we just beat him up a bit, we'll be able to unlock him, and we'll call that a day or whatever. Which we're doing now. So with that all said and done, we've now finally got the largest lad in Smash Bros. And we'll be wrapping up the episode right here. Next time we'll be playing as Ridley, and if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe and all the other YouTuber kind of stuff. And I will actually genuinely see you guys next time if I remember to edit the video. So bye!